Hello and welcome back. Today we are talking about the one interview question you can pretty much guarantee you're going to be asked, or at least a version of it. What am I talking about? Tell me about yourself. We have all been asked a tell me about yourself question in an interview. I used to ask people, tell me about yourself when I was doing my recruiting work. And there was one thing that always stood out for me. Women were much more likely to give me their entire career history from the day they graduated college. Let me give you an example. Jenny, hi, thanks for coming in today. We're excited to speak with you. Why don't we just start? You can tell us a little bit about yourself. Great, yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I graduated in 2000. And then I took a year and I traveled. Then I came back and I did an internship for a summer at RBC. And then I wasn't sure I wanted to do that. So then I went back. Stop. No, nobody wants to hear this. Nobody wants to hear this. I have your resume in front of me, I'd say. I've already read it. I know that. Tell me about you. Tell me why you're a good fit for this job. Tell me what you've done that you're proud of. I can't tell you how many times women looked at me like a deer in headlights. I'd say, go ahead. It's okay. I don't want to brag. I don't know. I don't want to seem cocky or arrogant. I will pull it out of you. Pretend I'm holding this big, giant light and I'm shining it on you and I'm giving you permission to stand in it and tell me about the things you've done that you're proud of. That was usually what I had to say to get women really comfortable talking about those kinds of wins. I know that I spend a lot of time talking about different ways that men and women present themselves professionally. I want to add that there are many, many men out there who struggle with some of the same issues that I'm addressing here. And by no means am I excluding you or trying to diminish struggles that you might have. But in my own professional experience, the problems that I talk about are more prevalent in women. That is not to say men don't experience them. So with that said, oftentimes when I would ask a man to tell me about himself, he'd just get right to it. Yeah, great. I'm the VP of sales, currently leading a team of 25. Spent the past 15 years in the financial technology sector, working with Fortune 500 clients and consistently exceeding revenue goals by 70%. Oh, okay. This is how you want to answer the tell me about yourself question. The way I usually advise people to prepare for something like this is to get the job description for the role for which you are applying. Go through that job description with a highlighter, a pen, whatever you have on hand, and make sure that you highlight the things that you can confidently speak to. So, Jenny, hi, thanks for coming in today to interview for the role of career coach. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Yeah, absolutely. I'm a TEDx speaker and a career strategist with 15 years background in corporate recruitment, currently working with women going through career transition, supporting them and giving them the tools they need to tell their professional story with impact. Very excited to be here speaking with you today. And there were a few things on the job description that really stood out to me that made me very confident I'm a good fit for this role. Could I speak to those? Oh, yeah, sure, go ahead. So I noticed you're looking for someone who has 10 years working with clients in a professional setting doing X, Y, and Z. I have done X, Y, and Z, and then you talk about how. The consistent theme is whether it's your resume, whether it's your cover letter, whether it's the way you interview, your job is to make it painfully obvious to the person you're speaking with that you are the right fit for the role. And by using the very language that is laid out in the job description, you're telling somebody you're looking for these things. They really stood out to me. I've done those things. That's why I know I am a good fit for this role. So that is one tip for how to answer the tell me about yourself. It's worth noting that this question can actually come in multiple forms. It might be tell me about yourself. It might be tell us why you want to work here. It might be, tell us why you think you're a good fit for this role. No matter what, you will take this opportunity to, again, make it very clear why you are the right person for the role using the language that is used in the job description. Because again, this takes out any of the guesswork. The interviewer is not trying to piece together why you would be a good fit for this role because you are just telling them. If you're having a virtual interview and you're afraid that you might forget some of the points that you want to speak to, those little baby Post-it notes, you're going to put them right up here in front of your camera because you probably can't tell if I'm looking here, here, here. It all kind of looks the same. And this way I have my prompts up there to remind me. So the key takeaway here is when you are asked any variation of the tell me about yourself question, this is not an invitation to recite your entire career history. It is quite the opposite. This is an opportunity to plug in your experience to what they're looking for so they know that you are the right person for the role. The second thing I want to talk about when it comes to interviewing is the STAR method. Some people know what this is. This is a type of behavioral interviewing, and you'll know that you are getting a STAR method question if the question starts off like, tell me about a time when you, or tell me about an occasion when you had to. The whole point of the STAR method questions is to walk through your thinking around a specific situation. So let me give you an example. Where does the name STAR method even come from? So the letters STAR are the acronyms for situation, task, action, result. So Jenny, tell me about a time that you dealt with conflict in the workplace. Sure. The first thing you will do is explain the situation. So I was working with X person. We didn't have the same outlook on how to best serve the specific customer, and we were butting heads. What was the task? The task was to figure out how we were going to overcome this problem. What is the action? So we sat down together, we brainstormed, we made sure that we held space to understand each other's opinion. The result was we came together, we solved the problem successfully, happily ever after. That was a very simplified version, but that is what you will, that is the format of how to answer these STAR method questions. The interviewer is asking to see your thought process as you go through the way that you solved a problem. So tell me about a time when you lost a customer and how you dealt with that. Well, the situation was we were working on this huge project. We weren't able to deliver what she was looking for in time. What was the task? What was the action? What was the result? There's an excellent website called The Muse, M-U-S-E, and they do a whole section on the STAR method, which you will probably find incredibly helpful. I am also going to include in my resources some examples of STAR method questions so that you can be prepared, because I can almost guarantee that you will get at least one in your interview. So we have covered the STAR method. What is it? How do you answer it? And what does STAR even stand for? And also how to answer the tell me about yourself or any variation of that in an interview to make it incredibly clear that you are the right person for the role. I will add as a caveat that when you send your thank you note, no more than 24 hours after your interview, you want to highlight some of the things that you spoke with the interviewer about. Jenny, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me about the VP of Growth role at such and such company. After our discussion, I'm even more convinced that I'm the right person for the job. Additionally, I very much enjoyed hearing your take on the way the markets are today and how the ideal candidate for this role can be incredibly effective. Looking forward to next steps. Sincerely, Jenny. If you interview with multiple people, you do not send the same thank you note. Thank you notes have to be personalized. People who sat on a panel to interview you will be talking about the note that you sent. So make sure you don't send one and CC everyone. Make sure you don't send the same one to everyone. I know it can be laborious, but you are going to personalize every single one of those thank you notes. Good luck.